So how long were you married and when did the abuse start?
I was married for about 8 years, and the abuse started actually right before we got married, when we were engaged. But I didn't really realize it was abuse at the time. He was really controlling, and I almost broke up with him, but at the time, but I um I thought, well, it's okay. It's probably just nerves. I'm sure he's going to get over it. He's going to stop doing that. Um, I didn't really notice the abuse really didn't start until right after we got married. As soon as we got married is when he started in on me. I mean, just that week. I mean, just right then, I'm like, and it was like, whoa. And I asked him, I said, why are you treating me differently? He says, well, we're married now. I can do what I want. And I should have known then that there was a problem.
Was he nice to everybody else?
Oh yeah, everybody thought he was like the greatest thing since sliced bread. He was awesome. He was so friendly and cordial, and everybody at work just loved him. And he was the person that everybody thought was a great guy. So I thought, well, gosh, there must be something wrong with me because I mean, he's so great to everybody else. I mean, what? How could this? What's wrong with me? I mean, I don't know. It was just crazy.
How bad did it get?
Well, at the beginning, it was just he started being just verbally abusive and telling me that, I'm no good. Just started tearing me down. Like, you need to wear this dress. You need to look pretty for me. You need to do this for me. Then he started breaking anything that I valued. He would smash or destroy to try to control my emotions. And then he would smash all the furniture. Then he got more violent, increasingly more violent. He would push me and shove me and hit me. It was bad.
Was it because of arguing or was it just, like, how did those episodes start?
Um, I don't know. He was like a firecracker. You just never knew where he was coming from. It would just come out of nowhere sometimes. And you would just blow up. You have to walk on eggshells just to be around him. It was just, you just never knew. It was never, never really like an escalation. It just, out of the middle of nowhere, I guess. I never knew when it was going to happen. Well, the first time that I got hurt bad enough to go to the urgent care, he actually drove me to urgent care and sat in the parking lot. And when I went in, the people asked me that they knew that it had been from an abuser, and the police came and they wanted me to report him, and I didn't want to. And I said, no, I can, I'm okay. I was a social worker at the time, and I thought, I'm a professional. I can do this. I can handle him. This is not something that, I need people to intervene with me. I can do this. I can take care of him myself or just leave. And I tried to rationalize it, but it wasn't something I could fix. You can't fix somebody that chooses to hurt you. You can't change them. Well, I wanted to get out for a long time, but I just didn't know how. I just wasn't sure. I kept thinking I could change him, or I could change the situation, and he always told me it was my fault. So I felt like it was always my fault that I did something wrong to make him hurt me or hate me. That I just wasn't the perfect wife. Well, the last time that I was hit in the stomach and it was in front of my son, I said, this is enough. So me and my son, we left. And I called my sister. I said, look, I got to figure out what to do. I don't know what to do. And I really hadn't, I always would end up going back to him. But my sister, she did something she didn't do before. She called somebody that she knew that lived in the same town that I do. And they called me on the phone and told me to come to their house. So I went to their house just to visit, and then they called the police, which I had never done, and the police came and took a statement from me, and I was kind of scared because I didn't know, I didn't want him to go to jail because then he wouldn't work. I wouldn't have any child support, and I was like, oh my goodness, no, let's don't do that. But he did, and then they took a statement, and then my ex, the police went with me to get some stuff from the house. Then I went back to my friend's house, and then that Monday, I went to see a lawyer in town, and I got a piece of paper and I took it to the judge that morning, and I went behind into the chambers, just me by myself, and I asked him for a restraining order against my husband. And when I did that, the police went and kicked him out of the house because it was my house. It was our house, but because I had a child and he couldn't be there with me and my child, so he had to leave the house. And he was really shocked that he was made to leave the house, and he had a restraining order, so he got kicked out and I got back in the house, and then we've just kind of been going through that ever since. Okay.
So it's been 3 years since all that happened.
Yes.
How do you feel about all of it now?
I'm very relieved that I got out of the situation, but I never would have gotten out of it if somebody hadn't helped pull me out, because it was like a cycle and I was in a circle and I couldn't get out on my own, but I needed somebody to say, this is what you need to do, and kind of guide me through the process, and to feel like I had a security, like I had a little safety net, or feel like somebody was on my side, because it was scary to get out without that. But I'm so glad I'm out now.